Hello everyone, this is Keith from the Solo Gamers Club and welcome to my channel. Tonight we're going to continue with our playthrough of Fortune and Glory, the cliffhanger game. This is episode 4. So far the heroes have managed to accumulate 27 fortune. We need 40 to win the game. Villain track is currently at 7, so we have a very good chance of winning this. And we're going to have to come up with a strategy to get us 13 more fortune. Now we have some good opportunities in South America here. There is a Nazi secret base in the Andes, and if we rush that, we'd be able to take any fortune that they have stored. They currently have 2 there, so we could not only knock out the base that will stop the supply of Nazi soldiers being deployed to the board, but we'd earn 2 more fortune that way, so that's a possibility. We also have a artifact in the deep jungles of the Amazon, and that is the Cup of Lost Souls that requires 4 dangers to achieve 4 fortune. So that might be a good one, and it's also worth an extra 2 because it's a deep jungle. In addition, there is a temple, the Tomb of Medusa, that is located in Scandinavia, and we have Li Mei Chen in London, so she'd be able to get there pretty quick. And that might be another good option for us to earn some quick fortune. And we'll begin with our initiative roll, find out who's going to have the first player marker. Okay, the high roll is a 6 for our red player, and that is Grant Jackson. One of the players rolled a 1, and that is Duke Dudley, so he'll be able to draw an event card. And he draws the event, If I Could Just Reach. Play to immediately take any ally or gear card from the discard pile, or choose any unsold common item and roll a d6. Take that item if the roll is equal to or greater than the listed cost. A roll of 6 will always succeed regardless of the item's cost. Okay. And now we'll make a roll for our movement points. Let's see if we can get any extra event cards from that. Here's the roll. Okay, these are our movement values. We've got a 6, 4, 4, and a 2, so nobody's going to get any event cards. All right, we're going to begin with our first player. That's Grant Jackson. He is currently in the Andes. Now he has this card called Fire, and that says, play at any time to choose a city on the board. Any immobile cards located in that city are discarded on a d6 roll of 3+. Any heroes, villains, or enemies in that city take d6 hits each. All right, so I think we're going to try to use that to get rid of a mobster that is in Cairo. So we'll give it a shot. These mobsters have 4 wounds, so if we're able to roll a 4 or greater, we can get rid of them from Cairo. Let's see what we get. Here's the roll. The roll is a 5. We've done 5 wounds to the mobsters and they're destroyed. So we've cleared out that mobster from Cairo, and that was a good use of that fire card, I think. And we'll start with our movement phase, and that's Grant Jackson is up first. He has 2 movement points. Our choices then would be to try to go after the secret base, or we could send him next door to the Amazon jungle where he could start looking for that Cup of Lost Souls. Now he does have a mission, I should say an occult expert, and that allows him to add +3 adventure dice during a single test when he's at a fate or death adventure. And this one here is the Cup of Lost Souls, and that's a death adventure, so it might be useful to get him in there. I think we'll do that. I'll have Grant move into the deep jungle of the Amazon. All right. Next up is Alexander Cartwright, and he is in the western South Pacific. I think I'm going to move him into the Andes, and we're going to try to go after that secret base. All right. Next up is Duke Dudley. He's already there, and I think that they are going to combine to go after that secret base. So we'll do that. And finally, we have Li Mei Chen. She's in London, and I think we're going to send her to Scandinavia. She's got 6 movement points. She'll spend 2 into the North Sea through the port, and 1 into Scandinavia. She'll take her damsel ally with her. All right, That'll consist of, that's all of the movement for the turn. So we'll begin the adventure phase with Grant Jackson. That's our lead investigator, our first player. And he's going to try to go after that artifact, the Cup of Lost Souls, but this is a deep jungle. So he needs to take a exploration token, and then he's going to roll a d6, and on a 4, 5, or 6, he'll be able to find that Cup of Lost Souls and begin an adventure there. If he doesn't, he becomes lost, and he'll have to try to locate it next turn. All right, so here is his exploration roll. And he rolled a 1, so he's failed. And that's unfortunate. So what'll happen is next turn, he's going to gain another exploration token, and then he'll roll 1d6 for each of those, and he'll be looking for a 4, 5, or 6 once again. So it gets easier after you have been exploring for a while. We'll move on to Alexander Cartwright. All right, Alexander Cartwright is going to start a combined adventure, and they're going to attempt to infiltrate this Nazi secret base in the Andes. In order to infiltrate the Nazi secret base, we have to complete 3 adventures, just as we would normally. So this is going to be a combined adventure with Cartwright and Duke Dudley. Our first adventure is Crumbling Ruins, Danger, Glory 2. The ancient ruin is falling apart around you as you pick your way through the crumbling architecture. We have to complete an Agility 4+ test and a Cunning 4+ test. Each will require 3 successes. And now that this is a combined adventure, we can select who is going to take the adventure and who is going to support. And I think we'll start out with the Agility test, and we'll begin with Alexander Cartwright is going to take that test. He has a Agility of 4, so he'll be able to roll 4 dice for the test. Duke Dudley will be in support. All right, so here is Alexander Cartwright's Agility test. And he's got a total of 3 successes, 2 4s, and a 5. So he's completed that part of the test, and we'll give him a success token towards that to show that we've completed the Agility part. Now we got to do the same with a Cunning test. And this time we're going to have Duke Dudley take the test. He has a Cunning of 3. So he'll get 3 dice for this, and he needs 4s or greater. Okay, here is the roll. He's got 1 success. Okay, so we'll give him a success token towards that, and then he gets to roll again. He's failed. All right, let's see if we've got any event cards we can use. No, we don't. So I think what we're going to do is have Alexander Cartwright, he's going to exert, since this is a combined operation. That'll be his 3rd wound, and we'll be able to roll another die here and see if we can get a success. Okay, here's the roll. He's failed. We'll have him try another one. This is his 4th wound. He's failed. This is his 5th wound. And he's got it that time. So we've got a 2nd success here. And now Duke Dudley can try once more. Here's the roll. And he's done it. He's got 2 successes, so we've completed that. That is 1 danger towards acquiring the secret base, but we've taken some wounds here. So that card is done. And we'll go move on to another one now. See if we can get 3 of these to infiltrate the base. Next one is a horse chase. Glory of 2. You'll have to ride faster if you want to catch up to the speeding truck. We need to complete an Agility 5+ test or a Cunning 4+ test requiring 3 successes. All right, well, Alexander Cartwright is our better Agility, but the Cunning test would be a lot easier, and I think we'll do it that way. We will try the Cunning portion of that test, and we'll use Duke Dudley for that. He has a Cunning of 3. Here is the roll. He's got 2 successes. That is great. We'll mark him with 2 successes, and then he gets to re-roll. Okay, here we go. He's done it. We've completed our second danger. We need one more to infiltrate the Nazi base. All right, here is the last one. This time it is followed by cultists. Danger, chase, Crimson Hand, glory of 2. You're being followed. Lose them down a back alley or turn around and say hello. We have to complete a cunning 4+ test with 4 successes, or we have to fight the Order of the Crimson Hand. Okay. Well, I think we're going to try the cunning test. And we're going to have Duke Dudley attempt that. He has a cunning of 3. And we're going to need 4 successes, though, so that's not quite that easy. Let's see if we can do this. Here's the roll. We have 1 success, so we'll mark that. And we'll continue on with the rolls. He has no successes. Oh, no. I don't know if I've got any re-rolls I can use here. I'm going to take a look. And unfortunately, I have no re-rolls. So that means that we have failed this, and it's going to go into a cliffhanger. Oh, boy. It's going to become From the Shadows. All right, that's going to complete Alexander and Duke Dudley's adventure phases. We'll move on to Li Mei Chen. She's up in Scandinavia. All right, so she is in Scandinavia, and she's going to attempt to find the tomb of Medusa. All right, and she's going to begin now with her first danger, seeking the tomb of Medusa. And this one is revealed to be a shadowy castle. Danger, fortress, cult, sneak. The dark keep on the hilltop stands tall against the grim sky. Find a way to sneak in or go knock and see if someone is home. She has to do either a lore 5+ test and a cunning 4+ test, or she has to fight the Order of the Crimson Hand. Okay. So she's going to have to fight, decide to fight the Order of the Crimson Hand. Now, we can escape. That might be a better option for us. That would be using her agility, and she has a 5 agility. We wouldn't gain any glory for this because we would be escaping, but I think that might be a good way to get past this first danger. So let's try that. All right, so she's going to try to escape the Crimson Hand. That has an agility 5+ test requiring 2 successes. Her agility is 5. She gains +1 for her damsel, so we'll be rolling a total of 6 dice for the test. Here is the roll. She has 2 successes. She's got 2 5s there, so we've managed to escape that Order of the Crimson Hand. That is good. We won't get any glory for that, but we will take 1 fortune. That moves us up to 28. We need 12 more. So Li Mei Chen and the damsel have gotten their first danger. That is great. So I think what we'll do is continue on. She'll press on and try to get another fortune. This time we have a shady nightclub. Danger, mob, sneak. Glory 2. We have to pass an agility 4+ test, which is a deadly test, or a cunning 5+ test with 1 success required. All right. The other option would be to fight mobsters, and I think she's going to try the cunning test. It only requires 1 success. Her cunning is a 3, and she gains +1 for a monocle, so she can roll 4 dice for this test. And all we need is a single 5 or greater. So let's try it. Okay, here is the roll. And she's done it. She's got 2 successes. It's going to earn us another fortune. And this time we have managed to get past the shady nightclub. We are right now at 29 fortune. This is awesome. And I think Lee and the damsel are going to press on, so we will see what the next danger is. This time it is a hidden trap. Danger, trap, glory of 3. Spot the pressure plates in the floor and find a way across the densely packed patterns of stones to avoid tripping the trap. We have to complete a lore 4+ test and a cunning 5+ test. All right, it's going to be more tough. Well, I think we are going to start out with the cunning test. We can choose which one we want to do. She'll take the cunning test, and she has a cunning of 3. She gets +1 for the monocle. So she'll be rolling 4 dice, and we need a 5 or greater to pass this. Okay, here we go. She's done it. She's got 2 5s. That'll complete that cunning portion, and we'll get a marker there to show that we've done that. But now we have to do the lore test. Unfortunately, her lore is only a 2, and that's going to be a little tougher. So she's going to get 2 dice for this test, and we need to get 4 or greater. Here is the roll. She's done it. She's got 2 6s. That's enough to complete the danger, earning us another fortune. That is awesome. We are right now at 30 fortune. That is great. All right. Now we got to decide what we want to do. Well, Lee has no wounds, so she's going to continue on, and we'll draw another danger card and see if she can gain some more fortune. This time we've got Deadly Puzzle. Danger, Ancient Puzzle, Glory of 5. The stones are beginning to move faster and faster. Decipher the glyphs before the mechanism completes its cycle. She has to complete a lore 5+ test, and this is a deadly test. Unfortunately, her lore is only a 2. That is not good. So we will attempt the roll and see what happens. Lore 5+ test. Now she can double exert, but she only has 4 wound capacity, so that's not so good. Here's the roll. And she has 1 success, but not the second. So right now, as it stands, she has failed the test. Let's see if we've got any other things that we can use. And unfortunately, no. The only thing we could do is we could double exert, and I think we're going to have to try that. That will allow her for 2 wounds to roll another die, and if we can get a 5 or 6, we would complete that deadly puzzle. Let's try it. And she's failed. Well, we can't double exert anymore because that would KO her. So this is going to move into a cliffhanger. We're in a cliffhanger. And now, since we've gone into the cliffhanger, we have to roll for the temple collapse. The collapse value is a 3. So we're going to be rolling 3 dice. And for every 1 or 2, we're going to place a collapse marker there. Here's the roll. None. Okay, so there are no 1s or 2s, so there's no collapse happening. And that's going to end our adventure phase for the turn. We did pretty well, though. We got quite a bit of fortune. We're up to 30 right now. And now we're going to move on to the villain phase, and we'll see what the villain event is for this round. This time we have fire. Any hero in a city space immediately takes D6 hits. Well, we have no heroes in city spaces. That's great. And then we would roll a D6 for every immobile card in play, and on a roll of 1 or 2, we're going to have to discard it. Well, we have currently 1 immobile card in play, and that is the personal library of Grant Jackson. So I think he's going to try to use that personal library ahead of time we'll activate that and then try to cancel it before the fire would happen. So we'll try that. We'll see if he can do it. He needs a 5 or 6. And he's failed, so now we're going to have to make a roll and see if that immobile card is removed from play, and it's on a 1 or 2. Here's the roll. Rolls a 3, so we're okay. This fire card is played, and we have no other ill effects from that. That's good. We'll move on to the Zeppelin step, and Zeppelin is currently in Italy, and it is going to try to get to Mexico. Okay, so we'll see if it can reach Mexico, and we'll get a die roll and see if how many movement points it has. Okay, here's the roll. Rolls a 2, so it's got 2 movement points. I guess it would move into the Mediterranean. That's as close as it could try to get. And we'll move on now to the base step. We'll make a roll for the secret base in the Andes. Rolls a 3, so no additional Nazi soldiers will be deployed. That is great. We'll move on to the villain adventure step. We have Herr Teufel in Berlin at headquarters. He's going to deploy to the most valuable artifact that's on the board. So he is going to move to the tomb of Medusa in Scandinavia, where Li Mei Chen is. He'll have 2 bodyguards to help him. Same thing for Colonel Stahl. He's going to gain 2 bodyguards, and he is going to deploy to the Cup of Lost Souls. And that is located in the Amazon jungle where Grant Jackson is. And that's going to complete the round. And we'll start a new round. We'll roll for the initiative. And this time we have a tie between Alexander and Li Mei Chen. Duke Dudley rolled a 1, so he'll be getting a draw for an event card. So we'll re-roll these, we'll roll off and see what they get. This time it's going to be Alexander Cartwright. He will be our first player. All right, we'll get an event card draw for Duke Dudley. And this time he's drawn A Life of Excitement. Play immediately. Every hero may immediately draw 2 event cards. That is awesome. All right. So we'll start out with Alexander Cartwright. He's going to draw 2 cards, and he gets to draw an extra one. I don't know if his I don't know if his resourceful ability, when drawing an event card, you may draw 2 and choose one to keep, discarding the other. Well, he's going to draw 2 cards, and I don't know if that applies to both of those. It says whenever. I guess it would. So for the first draw, he has to decide between Justice Scratch and Spread of Darkness. Well, we'll take the Justice Scratch card, that's for sure. We'll add that to our total. We'll discard the Spread of Darkness card. And then he'll do the same for the other 2. This one is Local Trouble or Bold Action. Bold Action, play on any hero to give them +5 adventure dice for 1 roll. I think we're going to take that one. We'll take the Bold Action card. We can use that. That's great. Local Trouble card is removed. All right, now the next player is going to be Duke Dudley. He gets 2 cards. And these are both going to have to be played now. He's got Expedition Team. Play immediately. Every hero may immediately draw an ally card. That is awesome. Wow. And the other card is play on any hero to allow them to immediately draw an allies card, or play to give an ally +2 loyalty. So this play immediately card is going to kick in. Every hero is going to immediately draw an ally. That's great. So Alexander Cartwright is going to draw the ally Manticore, +2 to agility. It's a sidekick, and he gains +2 movement each turn and can draw an event on a move rolls of 1 or 2. We'll give that to Alexander Cartwright. That is great. Next is Duke Dudley. He gains a Museum Curator. That's an immobile card located in Paris. That is great. Gives him +1 to lore, and he gains 5 glory anytime he sells an artifact in the ally's location. All right. Next ally is for Li Mei Chen. She gets Allison, +1 wounds, +3 to lore. She's a sidekick. She has a loyalty of 3. That is awesome. All right, that's her second ally. And finally, Grant Jackson. This would be his second ally. He's got a college professor. It's an immobile card in Moscow, and he can activate it to gain +3 lore for 1 test. That is great. All right, now Li Mei Chen is going to draw her 2 event cards. This is awesome. We've got extra effort, play on any hero to give them +2 agility or +2 combat for 1 test or fight round, and the rescue card. We'll add those to the totals. And finally, we have the event card draws for Grant Jackson. And those are Daring Escape, which we've seen before, and Betrayal Sabotage. Choose an ally in play to make a Loyalty 5+ test, or play while in the same space as a villain to immediately do D6 hits on that villain. That is awesome. All right. That was a great card, and that gave us a lot of event cards to use, not to mention these allies. All right, now we'll make our movement rolls. That was a great turn of events for us with those event cards. That was awesome. Okay, here's our movement rolls. And we've got 2 6s, a 4, and a 4. Okay, no extra events, but that'll be our movement values for our players. Well, we'll begin with Alexander Cartwright. He is in a cliffhanger along with Duke Dudley at the Nazi secret base, so they're not going to be able to move this turn. They're going to have to remain there. Next up is Li Mei Chen, and she is also in a cliffhanger. She won't be able to move. Finally, we have Grant Jackson. He's currently in the Amazon jungle, and he's trying to explore to find the location. So we'll see what happens with that. So he'll remain where he is. And we'll begin the adventure phase with the combined effort of Duke Dudley and Alexander Cartwright at the Nazi secret base. They are in a cliffhanger. And it says, "From the shadows, cliffhanger fight Crimson Hand. You were so focused on the guys on your tail, you didn't see the assassin strike from the shadows until it was almost too late." And we have to fight. We have to fight a Crimson Hand assassin, and it's going to get +2 fight dice. All right. So a Crimson Hand assassin, and it's going to get +2 fight dice. It's worth a glory of 5, 4 fight dice with 3 wounds, so it's going to have 6 fight dice. And the Crimson Assassin fight dice rolls of 6 will cause 2 hits each. To escape, we have to perform a Cunning 4+ test with 3 successes, and that's a deadly test. Well, I think we are going to try to escape, and we're going to use the Cunning 4+ test, deadly test. Now, we have quite a few event cards here, and one of them was pretty powerful. And I think that was going to give us a total of +5 adventure dice during a roll. And I'm going to try to find that card because we might need it. Well, we actually have a better card, and we have that Daring Escape card. So even if we fail the escape test, we can use this card to escape, and that's what we're going to do. So we'll try to use it. We'll have Duke Dudley perform the test. He has a Cunning of 3, and let's see if he can gain anything else. Don't believe so. So he has got 3 dice, and we're looking for 4s or greater. And he's got 2 successes, but not a 3rd. So I think we're going to use that Daring Escape, and that will allow him to escape from the Crimson Assassin, and that is going to complete that 3rd danger. And that means we have infiltrated the Nazi secret base. That is awesome. So we have successfully destroyed the Nazi secret base in the Andes, and as a reward we have 2 choices. We can either take an artifact that they have, or we can gain any fortune that they currently have in stock, and then we can move the villain track back D3 steps, and I think that's what we're going to do. So we're going to gain the 2 fortune that they have stored. It's going to move us up to 32. We only need 8 to win the game. Now we get to roll a D3, and we'll see how much we can move back the villain track. It's currently at 7. Here's a D3. We've moved it back 2 spaces. It moves back to 5. That is awesome. All right, so that's going to complete the round for Alexander Cartwright and Duke Dudley. Now we go to Li Mei Chen, and she is in a cliffhanger at the Tomb of Medusa in Scandinavia. All right, so Li Mei Chen is in a cliffhanger. It's called Scorpions. Now we've got Herr Teufel with his bodyguards deployed, but she also has Allison and the damsel to help her. The cliffhanger is Animal Poison, Glory of 5. It's an Agility 5 plus test, but it's a deadly test. It says, if failed, instead of being KO'd, discard an ally that is with you and make the test again. All right, so we're going to have to, hopefully we pass this. Lee has an Agility of 5, and she gains +1 for the damsel. So she's at 6. We get 6 dice. This is an Agility 5 plus test, and she needs 2 successes. Here we go. She's done it. She's got the 2 6s. She's passed it. That is going to complete the danger. She is going to earn 5 glory automatically and another fortune. So that's going to leave a total of 4 fortune left at the tomb. And we're up to 33 fortune right now. 7 to win the game. Now, if we want to press on, we have to sneak past Herr Teufel. And that could be a problem for us. I don't know if we should do that. I think we will camp down. And we'll take what we've got here. We'll camp down. That'll heal her of the 2 wounds. And that will end her turn. And I think that might be the smart choice, because Herr Teufel gains +1 combat because of his arcane lore for each artifact that the villains have. He would be at +3, I believe, right now. So his combat value would be at 7, +2 for his bodyguard. So I think that might be a little too much. So we'll camp down, and Lee will continue on next turn. We did pretty good. We'll move on now to Grant Jackson. He is currently in the Amazon in the deep jungle, and he's looking to find the Cup of Lost Souls. So we'll see if we can do that. Now, Grant has failed his exploration from the last turn, so now he's got 2 exploration tokens. We'll be rolling 2 dice, and we're looking for a 4, 5, or 6, and then he can proceed with the adventure. All right, here's his exploration roll. And he's done it. He's got a 4. That's all he needed. So he has successfully located the Cup of Lost Souls, and we'll put a exploration token underneath his marker to let us know that we have indeed found the location. And we'll start with our first danger. Colonel Stahl and his bodyguards have deployed there as well. All right, so this particular artifact has an extra 2 fortune associated with it because it was in a deep jungle. We need to get 4 dangers passed in order to acquire it. And Grant Jackson is going to start out with the first adventure, and we'll see what it is. This one is revealed to be Confrontation at the Docks. Danger, Sneak, Water, Mob. Glory of 4. Following the goons to the dock, you quickly realize they're shipping more than just simple cargo. We have to complete an Agility 5 plus test and a Cunning 4 plus test, or fight a mobster. All right, we'll think about that. And I think before we decide on that, we're going to play an event card, and that's called Betrayal Sabotage. Play while in the same space as a villain to immediately do D6 hits to that villain. All right, let's make the roll and see what we've got. We've done 1 hit. Oh boy. So that's going to take one of his bodyguards out, and that's the best we can do with that card. All right, now we have to decide on what we're going to do with the Agility and Cunning test, or to fight a mobster. Well, I think we're going to try the Agility test. Grant Jackson has an Agility of 3, so he'll get 3 dice for the test. We'll start out with that one. We do have some event cards we can play, so we're looking for a 5. We only need 1 success. We've done it. We've got 2 5s, so we've completed that portion of the setup, so we'll put 1 token there to mark that. Now we have to do the Cunning test. And Grant has a Cunning of 2, and we can activate some other cards as well. So he gets 2 dice for right now. We'll try that. 2 dice. Here's the roll. We rolled a 4, so we have a 6, so we have 1 success towards that. And we'll give ourselves a success for that, and then we get to re-roll. We're looking for a 4 or greater, and we'll complete it. We've done it. He's got a 6. That'll complete one of those. We've got a danger there. That card is done. And now we have to decide if we want to sneak past Colonel Stahl and his bodyguard and continue and press on. And I think we're going to try it. Colonel Stahl has a search value of 3. I'm going to select a search number of 3. And for every 3 that we roll, we'll have to fight a round of combat against him. Here's the roll. And we got 2 3s, wouldn't you know it? So I'm going to have to fight 2 rounds against him and his bodyguard. All right. Well, here's the first round. Colonel Stahl has a combat value of 5, and he gains 1 for the bodyguard. So he'll be having 6 dice for his combat portion. Grant has a combat value of 4, so he gets 4 dice. This will be the first round of combat. Okay, here is the roll. Oh boy, that's not good. All right. Grant has done a total of 3 hits. Colonel Stahl and his bodyguard have 5 hits. All right, each of them have a defense of 1, so 1 die will be removed from each. And at current, that's what it would be. 4 hits on Grant Jackson, which is going to KO him, and 2 hits on Colonel Stahl. Let's see what kind of cards we get use here. Well, I have cards available, but none of them are going to get rid of the wounds that we're going to be taking. I currently have 3 wounds out of 6 on Grant Jackson. Even if I use the 1 card I have to get rid of a wound, we would still be taking 3, and it's going to KO him. So I think we will just accept the KOing of Grant Jackson. So Grant Jackson is KO'd. He returns to Cape Town, South Africa, where he will recover at the end of the round. We'll move on now to the villain phase. And we'll begin with the villain event step. Now the bad part is Grant Jackson is KO'd. He can't use his personal library to help stop this card. So let's see what we've got here. This is a blizzard. Any hero in an ice space immediately takes D6 hits. Uh-oh. Well, Li Mei Chen is in an ice space. She's in Scandinavia. So she is going to take D6 hits. All right, let's make the roll and find out. She's going to take 5 hits. Oh boy, that is not good. So Lee has a defense of 1, and that will allow her, and we do have Allison, which gives her +1 wound. So she'll be taking a total of 4 hits, and I think she's going to play a card, Just a Scratch, and that will reduce that a little bit. We'll play the Just a Scratch card, and that will prevent a wound. So we'll do that. So she's going to end up taking a total of 3 wounds, and we'll mark her accordingly. She's not KO'd yet, but she's at 3 of 4. All right, so that is done. Now we'll move on to the Zeppelin phase. All right, the Zeppelin is in the Mediterranean. Let's see where it's trying to get to. This time it wants to go to the Ancient Mountains, and that is in Antarctica. Let's see what kind of movement it's going to have. We'll make a roll for that. And it has a total of 5 movement points. I don't know if that's enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I guess that would be the most it can do is the Forbidden Sea. So it'll move to the Forbidden Sea. It won't deploy any soldiers. Now there are no Nazi secret bases, so we don't have to worry about that anymore. So that is great. We'll move on to the Villain Adventure step. All right, we're at the Villain Adventure step. Herr Teufel with his 2 bodyguards are infiltrating the tomb of Medusa. He currently has a search value of 4, so he'll be rolling 4 dice for his search attempt. And he will succeed on a 4, 5, or 6. For each of those, he'll gain a treasure from the tomb. Here's his roll. And he's got a total of 3 successes, so they're going to gain a total of 3 of those fortune. And that's going to move the villain track up 1 up to 6. All right. There's still 1 left in the Tomb of Medusa. Okay, next up is Colonel Stahl and his bodyguard. They're searching for the Cup of Lost Souls. Now that is a deep jungle, so he has to also do exploration. We'll give him an exploration token, and he'll roll a die. On a 4, 5, or 6, he'll find the location. And he is successful. So he has successfully explored. Now he's going to do his search, and he needs to complete a total of 4 dangers. He has a search value of 3, so he'll roll 3 dice. All right, those are his results. A 6, a 2, and a 1. Now he takes wounds on 1s or 2s, and he has successes on 3. So he gains 1 success, and we'll give him a danger token for that. But he's going to take 2 wounds, and one of them will be absorbed by the bodyguard. The other one, he's going to have to take a wound, and that is first of 7. Now, when a villain takes a wound, we have to make a roll for collapse, and the collapse value of this is 4, so he'll roll 4 dice. 1s or 2s will add collapse tokens, and he has none of those, so no collapse tokens are placed, and that is the extent of the turn. We'll move on to the end phase, and Grant Jackson is recovered now. He's currently in Cape Town, South Africa. He's recovered, and we're ready for a new round. We'll begin the new round with an initiative roll. And we've got right now the initiative is going to go to Duke Dudley. He has the highest roll. We'll give him the first player marker. And Alexander Cartwright rolled a 1. He's going to be entitled to an event card draw. And with his special ability, he can choose 2 cards and keep 1. First one is Expanding Influence. That's a play immediately, placing a mobster thug into 2 random spaces, or the I Don't Think So card, and we'll definitely take that. This card will be discarded. We'll add the I Don't Think So card to our stack of cards. All right, now we're going to roll for our movement. We'll see what we get for that. All right, those are our movement values. They're pretty good. No extra event cards, though. All right, and we'll begin with Duke Dudley. He is currently in the Andes. All right, Duke Dudley has 5 movement points, and I think we're going to get him to a city where he can heal up and he can sell that temple treasure that he has. So I think we'll move him to Rio. And he'll move 1, 1, and 2 into Rio. That'll be his move. Next up is Li Mei Chen, and she's currently in Scandinavia, and she is seeking the Tomb of Medusa. She has 5 movement points, and we're going to leave her there because there's only 1 more fortune in order to gain the temple treasure. But we do have a problem. It has special ability. After all dangers, you must either take a d6 hits or discard an ally that is with you to get the artifact. So we'll leave her there. That's fine. All right, Grant Jackson is up next. He has 4 movement points, and I think we're going to send him back to the deep jungles of the Amazon. He'll spend 2 movement points to enter into the South Atlantic and a 3rd to move into the deep jungle. That'll be his moves. And finally, we have Alexander Cartwright. He has 4 movement points. We've got a couple choices for him. There is a very good adventure, The Sword of the Gods, and that is up in the southwest of the U.S. That only requires 2 dangers to pass, and it's worth 5. So I think we might be moving him there. So Alexander Cartwright has 5 movement points. Now he's pretty heavily wounded. He's got a total of 5 wounds. So I think we're going to have to heal him up first. He does get +2 movement because he has Manticore. So we'll have him move maybe to Los Angeles. I'll have him move 1 into the Western South Pacific, 2 into the Western Pacific, and 3 into Los Angeles where the auction is being held. And him and Manticore will arrive there. That'll be our movements for the turn. All right, we're going to begin with Duke Dudley. He's currently in Rio de Janeiro, and he'll be taking a city adventure. And he draws the card, Real Estate Auction, City Event Social. You may pay D6 plus 2 glory. If you do, reveal cards from the top of the gear deck until you find an immobile card. Take that card and then shuffle the gear deck. Well, he has enough to try it. D6 plus 2 would be the cost. That's interesting. I think he's going to pass on that though, so we're going to reshuffle the city deck, and then he's going to interact with the city. And I think what he's going to do is he's going to sell that temple treasure that he has. He has the temple treasure from the caverns of Poseidon. And we can sell that. That's worth 3 fortune, I believe. Yes, that has a value of 3, so we're going to gain 3 more fortune, and we are at 36 now. We only need 4 more fortune in order to win the game. That is absolutely awesome. All right. So now he's going to interact with the city. He's going to pay 1 glory to get rid of the wound that he's carrying, so we'll take care of that right away. And then we'll see what he's got available to him. Right now he has 1 ally, and he's got 3 items, a horse, map, and lantern. So I guess he will purchase an ally. We'll pay 5 glory, and he'll purchase an ally. Let's see what he gets. He's got Sam, plus 2 combat and plus 1 defense, and it's a sidekick. That is awesome. All right. That is a good pick. And that's going to complete Duke Dudley's city adventure. We'll move on to Li Mei Chen. She is currently in Scandinavia seeking the tomb of Medusa. All right, Li is seeking the tomb of Medusa. There's 1 fortune left in the temple. And then, if she does that, it says, after all dangers, you must either take D6 hits or discard an ally with you to get the artifact. Well, what she's going to do is she's going to use her supplies first of all. And that says discard at any time, except during a fight round, to fully heal. So we're going to have her fully heal. She will recover those 3 wounds that she has. It's a good use of that card. And now she's going to attempt to get this final danger. If she can pass this, we'll get the temple treasure. Okay, and this one is Watched from the Shadows, Danger, Sneak, Glory of 3. Walking through the market streets, you get the strange feeling that you're being watched. Lose yourself in the crowds or create a diversion. She has to either do an agility 6+ test or a cunning 6+ test. She's going to choose the agility. She has an agility of 5, and the damsel will give her an extra one, +1. So she's going to get 6 dice for the test. All right, and here's the roll. She's got 6 dice. She's done it. She's got a 6, and that's going to get her the final fortune, and then she can take the temple treasure. And in order to take the temple treasure, she has to either take D6 hits or sacrifice an ally, and I think she's going to get rid of the damsel. So we're going to sacrifice the damsel, and we're going to get the temple treasure. That is awesome. So we have taken the tomb of Medusa. That is awesome. Herr Teufel is going to return to Berlin in a delayed condition because he did not get the artifact he was seeking, and he's being reprimanded by Reichsfuhrer Himmler. All right. So currently, right now, we have 37 fortune. If we can get 3 more, we're going to win the game. All right, next up is Grant Jackson, and he is currently in the Amazon jungle, and he's going to have to re-explore to find that location. He was kicked out with being knocked out. So he's going to gain an exploration token, and then we're going to have to roll to see if he can find that treasure. All right, here's his exploration roll. And he failed. Oh, no. All right, so he's lost in the jungle, and that's going to end his round. We'll move on to Alexander Cartwright, and he is in Los Angeles, California. All right, Alexander is in Los Angeles, and he is going to draw a city card. And he draws the city card. Just another day in the city. You may fully heal. That is awesome. All right, now we are in a major city. So he's going to have a major city adventure there. So he's healed all of that 5 wound damage. That is great. And now we're going to have to make a roll on the major city chart. All right, we're going to consult the major city events, epic events chart for Los Angeles. And here's the roll. He rolls a 4. All right, let's see what that is. A 4 is battle at the observatory. Your chase leads you to the observatory on the hill, where you suddenly find yourself in trouble. Move or place a Nazi war zeppelin in the city of Los Angeles, as well as 3 Nazi soldier figures. You must either flee the city to an adjacent land space or fight all 3 soldiers. If you flee or are KO'd, the Nazis escape with their stolen treasure. Draw an artifact adventure for the villains and remove the soldiers. If you defeat all 3 soldiers, you thwart their plan. Gain D6 plus 1 fortune. Wow. We'd be able to win the game if we could do that. So as it stands now, the war zeppelin moves to Los Angeles along with 3 Nazis. All right, I think that's going to be a little tough for him to handle. Cartwright does have a revolver, so he'd be gaining 5 combat dice for that, plus the ability to exert. But see, the Zeppelin now is going to be giving Nazi enemies plus 2 fight dice. So I think that's going to be a little too much. I think we are going to escape. And I think he will escape to the bayou. Well, actually, into Mexico. We'll have him escape into Mexico. And the Nazis, unfortunately, are going to gain an artifact. So they are going to gain the Temple of Power. All right. That is what they get. That's going to move the villain track up 2, and that will move it up to 8. 8 of their 15. All right. The Nazi soldiers are removed from play, and the villain, or the Zeppelin, will remain in Los Angeles. And that's going to end Alexander Cartwright's turn. And that's going to complete the round, and we'll move on to the villain phase. We'll begin the villain phase with an event draw. And this time it is Orders to Kill. Villain event. Play this card on the table. Next time a hero fights a villain, the villain gains plus 5 fight dice for the first fight round. Then discard the card, and that remains in play. Well, Grant Jackson is going to attempt to use his personal library to cancel that before it's played. So we'll have him roll a die, and on a 5 or 6, he'll cancel it. Here is the roll. He has rolled a 4, so that card is going to take effect. So we're going to play that Orders to Kill on the table, and that's going to give a plus 5 next time we have to fight a villain. All right. Next up is the Zeppelin step, and we'll see where that Zeppelin is going to be moving to. It's trying to get to the Sahara. All right, let's see what kind of movement points it's going to get. And it rolls 3, so it's got 3 movement points. That won't be enough for it to get there. So it'll move the 3 movement points towards the Sahara. So it'll spend 1 to go into Mexico, 2 into the Gulf of Mexico, and 3 into the Caribbean. Nazis don't have a base, so we'll move on to the villain adventure step. With the villain adventure step, we have Herr Teufel. He is currently delayed, so he will move to ready. We'll move on to Colonel Stahl. He is in the deep jungles of the Amazon, and he's seeking the Cup of Lost Souls. He has 1 danger towards collecting the artifact. Now this is an interesting situation. We've got Colonel Stahl in the deep jungle. He has passed his exploration roll. We also have Grant Jackson there, but he has not passed his exploration roll. Now, Colonel Stahl doesn't have any bodyguards left, so technically Grant Jackson would be affecting his search rolls by 1 for each hero that is in that space, but I don't think, since he has not passed the exploration, I don't think that's going to qualify. So Colonel Stahl will have a total of 3 search dice to use. And he's successful because of his ruthless ability on a 3+, and he takes wounds on 1s or 2s. So here's the roll. And he's got 3 successes. That's going to give him a total of 4 successes because he had 1 from before, and that's enough to gain the Cup of Lost Souls. So in addition to gaining the artifact, he's going to gain the 2 extra fortune, and that's going to move them up the villain track from 8 up to 10, where they're within 5. All right. So Colonel Stahl will return to headquarters. He's fully healed, and he's ready for action. We'll go to the end phase, and we have to replace a few artifacts. First one is a temple. It's the City of the Ancients. Has a value of 10. So we're going to place 10 fortune on that location. And that one is going to appear in South Africa. Wow. All right. And the next replenishment is the Shadow of the Crimson Hand. And that is going to appear in, let's draw a location card. This one appears in the Pacific Northwest. Okay. And that's going to complete the end phase, and we'll start a new round. And I think we might have a chance on winning this. If Li Mei Chen can get to a city, we'll be able to win the game by selling that temple artifact. And we'll begin with an initiative roll. Here we go. Okay, the initiative is going to go to the red player. Red player has a 6, and that's going to be Grant Jackson, so he will get the first player marker. Now we'll roll for movement. And if Lee, our black player, can get 3 movement points or more, we have a very good chance of winning the game because she can get to London. Here we go. She's done it. She's got a 3, a 4 for Grant Jackson, and then Alexander Cartwright and Duke Dudley will each get a event card draw. We'll start with Duke Dudley. He draws the card, I've got an idea. All right, we'll add that to our total. And then Alexander Cartwright, with his resourceful ability, will draw 2 and keep 1. His are Sandstorm or Malaria. Those are the 2 cards. All right. Let's see what we want. Alexander is currently in Mexico. And that's a jungle space. So, not sure which one to keep. I think he will take the Malaria card, and we'll keep that. All right. Now we're ready for our movement step, and we'll see what we're going to do with movement. All right, Grant Jackson is our first player. He has 4 movement points. And I think we're going to get him to South Africa, where he can undertake that City of the Ancients adventure. 2 and 3 movement points. That'll be Grant's move. We'll move on to Alexander Cartwright. He has 1 movement point. I think Alexander will move that into the American Southwest. He'll move into there. Duke Dudley has 1 movement point, and I think he is going to remain in Rio. We'll have him stay there. 1 point's not enough to move anywhere, so we'll leave him there. Finally, we have Li Mei Chen. She's in Scandinavia. She has 3 movement points. She's going to spend 2 into the North Sea and 1 to get to London. And if we can sell that temple artifact, we are going to win. We'll start out with Grant Jackson. He's in South Africa, and he's seeking the City of the Ancients. All right, Grant is seeking the City of the Ancients, and we'll draw a danger for him. He draws the card, Car Chase, Danger Driving Chase, Glory of 3. Outmaneuver and outrun the speeding car, Agility 5+, needing 2 successes. Grant Jackson has an Agility of 3, and that's what he has, 3. So he'll get 3 dice for the test. And here is his roll. He's got a total of 2 successes. That is sufficient to pass the test. It's going to earn him 1 of the fortune from the temple. We'll make some change there. That'll leave 4 fortune for a total of 9 there. And the team is going to earn an extra 1 now. We are at 38. We only need 2 more. And I think he's going to press on. We will press on, and we'll try another danger. Maybe we can win this outright. Here is the next one. And this time we have a high-speed car chase. Danger driving chase. Glory of 4. You'll have to step on the gas if you want to get away. He needs an agility 5+ test, and that is a deadly test. Grant Jackson has an agility of 3. All right. He'll give it a shot. Okay, here is the roll. And he has done it. He's got 2 successes, a 5 and a 6. That's going to be another success. The high-speed car chase is complete. He earns another fortune. We are at 39 right now. 1 more will win the game. This is amazing. All right, we're going to draw another danger for him. He's going to press on. This time we have a swampy trail, danger swamp, glory of 3. The trail leads off through the murky swamps. Try to find a way around the worst of it or push on through the heart of the bog. He has to do either a lore 4+ test or a cunning 5+ test. And it says, and this danger does not count toward collecting the artifact. Oh, that's terrible. That is not what we wanted. Well, Grant Jackson does have a lore of 3. He has a personal library which gives him an extra 1, and the college professor can be activated to gain +3 lore if he chooses. So we'll try the lore test. The lore test. So right now he has a lore of 3, and he gets 1 for the personal library. That's 4. And then we'll see if we need to activate the college professor. Here's the roll. He's done it. He's got 3 successes. Not a problem. He's passed it, but we don't get any progress towards the City of the Ancients. We have to get another one. We will gain the glory for it. And he's going to try another one, and we're going to press on. If we can solve this, we're going to win. This time we have the Nightclub Rendezvous, Danger, Treachery, Femme Fatale, to glory. Discover the truth as you pick your way through the crowded nightclub to meet with your contact. Cunning 6+ test, he needs 1 success. He has a cunning value of only 2. All right, 2. We'll have him roll the dice. I've got some re-rolls with some event cards and different things, so we'll try it. Here we go. He's done it. He's got a 6, and he's absolutely done it. The Nightclub Rendezvous is complete. He's going to gain another fortune, and that is the 40 fortune that we need to win the game. That is absolutely awesome. And with that, we have won the game. It is amazing. And consulting our vault, we have 40 fortune, and that is sufficient to win. We instantly win when we're playing the cooperative game. We don't have to return back to our home city. We win as soon as we get 40. That is great. And as is the tradition at the Solo Gamers Club, when I rarely win one of these games, I'm going to award myself a trophy. So thank you so much for joining me at the Solo Gamers Club, and I'm happy I was able to finally win a game of Fortune and Glory, the cliffhanger game. It's a very exciting playthrough against the Nazis. I think we played pretty well. We did get lucky on a few things, especially getting those delivery cards. Those are pretty powerful, and if you can roll high, you get lots of fortune from those. But I think we played pretty well, and I'm very happy with the victory. So thanks for tuning in to the channel, and I hope you enjoyed this playthrough series. Look forward to bringing you more content in the future. And in the meantime, this is Keith from the Solo Gamers Club, signing off and wishing everyone a pleasant evening. Good night.